continue to unpack what has been a big issue as far as the world of politics and whistleblowing is concerned. Now, we know the safety of whistleblowers making headlines again, this time after the homes of state capture whistleblowers Themba, Maseko and Johann van Loggerenberg broken into. Now increased calls for the Protected Disclosures Act to be amended. Now, it's to protect the lives and livelihoods of those who speak up. Legal expert Benedict Phiri joining me to talk about this. Morning to you, Benedict. So, long overdue, I'm sure you're going to tell me, for the protection of whistleblowers. But why do you think it is taking so long to get this done?
I think there really is a question of political will. At this point in time and in the current climate, state capture has revealed a lot insofar as how, this corrupt enterprise has really worked within the country and, a lot of politicians implicated. So I think it's not surprising that we aren't seeing the type of amendments and strengthening of the law for whistleblowers coming through at the pace we would like to see, given the number of people potentially implicated from a political perspective.
And I suppose this is where it's going to be a case of, at its very basic level, Benedict, as we all do, we look to the law to protect citizens of the country. But in this case, if we're not protecting the whistleblowers, we can't expect them to come forward. And inquiries like the state capture inquiry might not happen again in the future. I think because it's drawn very quickly into the spotlight, the kind of risks that they're taking.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct. And I think, those that have come forward within the framework of the state capture inquiry and also, the various mechanisms that the Protected Disclosures Act creates, I think should be commended. But I think what is more of concern in this particular instance is that we're going to see the next stage, criminal prosecutions potentially flowing from some of the information that has come through at the state capture inquiry. And these witnesses will still be integral to that particular process. What has come through in the state capture inquiry is not necessarily admissible in the course of criminal proceedings once they're instituted. So these witnesses will still play a crucial role going forward. And hence, it's not surprising that we start seeing heightened levels of bullying or this type of conduct that we're seeing now.
Yes, some would even say it's criminality, having the homes broken into of two of the state capture witnesses as well. Before I let you go, help me understand. So I'm not all that clued up on the Protected Disclosures Act. I know we're talking about the possible amendments to this. What amendments do you believe need to be made in this act?
So at the moment, the Protected Disclosures Act allows you to make a protected disclosure to a certain class of people. So it could be an attorney, it could be someone like the public protector, it could be the board of a company that you work for instance. But then what it doesn't do is it doesn't create a framework for that actual disclosure and you, as a person that makes that particular disclosure, to stay within in a safe environment, or so the disclosure itself is made and supposedly protects you from recrimination against that. But no one talks about your personal safety. No one talks about the people that are implicated and protecting you against any recriminations from them. And I think it needs to go further in that respect.
Perhaps let me leave this as a last question. Sorry, because as you were answering, I realized I wanted to ask you this, because there's a lot to do as far as getting amendments made. But Benedict, who picks up the baton on this? Because we're dealing with two issues. One is the legal element, one is the political element, which you refer to. So who picks up the baton first and who passes it to who?
And this is the thing. I do expect in the next sort of reports that we're going to receive from the Acting Chief Justice Zondo, that he will touch on the Protected Disclosures Act and greater protection for whistleblowers. So I think that will be a recommendation that will be put firmly on the president's door. And then the question then is, getting those particular amendments and recommendations through Parliament. I do think that we might see a situation which we've come to expect in this country where if Parliament drags its feet, some of these matters may make themselves to court, and then obviously the courts will then pick up the baton and force Parliament to implement these changes at a speedier level than what we're currently seeing at the moment.
Yeah, it's all about the speed as well, and the speed we need as well to keep those whistleblowers who have been brave enough to come forward protected now, and future whistleblowers as well. Benedict, it's always such a pleasure having you on eNCA. I appreciate your time joining us this morning.